Welcome to Unmasking Greatness. I'm your host, Chris Kokoris, a lifestyle fitness coach and mentor. This podcast is about unmasking your greatest potential, finding your purpose, and crafting a life worth living. Health and fitness has been the gateway drug to all of my success. My continuous drive to keep learning and surround myself with other high achievers forces me to level up, which has developed my mind to something I never thought was possible. This podcast is here to share what I've learned and continue to learn with all of you. This is your sign to take back control of your health, mindset, and personal environment. Strap in as we are recharged, and always, if you find value in the show, please subscribe and share as we can all get better together. Let's go. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Unmasking Greatness. I'm your host, Chris Kokoris, and I have an insanely special two guests here, Lazaro, Montoro, and Shadid, Montoro as well, owners of Tropical Grille. Not just 1, 2, 3, 15, right? Is that correct?
Something like that. We're somewhere in there.
Somewhere up there. You lose count after that, right? No.
No.
I'm excited to have you guys on. Obviously I've gotten to know you guys more over the years of being at Carolina Iron Gym and seeing you guys come in here. You guys carry a presence of confidence, but also you care about your health. And so I want to talk a lot about that. We have the listeners too. Me and Laz did a interview a while back to talk more history-wise of like how Tropical came up, but I want to dig a little more into y'all's personal lives. And I got to say this. I got to apologize too, because I didn't realize at the time how much you, Shadid, were involved in Tropical Grille.
I feel like the other podcast was like, 20 minutes of him talking about me. I'm like, Oh my God, you need to talk about you
Well,
and the
yeah,
business?
he's such a big part of what we've done.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of showed that, and even that didn't even do it justice. But
Yeah. So, those are the things I want to really get into because, like we were talking about the other day, I think it's difficult for some people, couples specifically, to run a business. I mean, you have to have a really good dynamic to navigate that. So, so my first question for you guys is, first, where did you guys meet, and what was life like before Tropical Grille?
oh, she's not gonna like this story. I'm gonna let her
This
roll
is
with
the
her
juicy
version
stuff.
of it, and then I'm gonna tell you the
my version
truth.
is the truth.
Let's see how she does.
So we met back in 2000. I had just turned 16, so I was a child. He was turning 18. Were you turning 18?
18, yeah.
No, you were 18
Rocking
already.
the cradle, yeah.
You were rocking the cradle. 18. And we were
We're
going,
beyond the age of consent at that point. We're good.
whatever.
Safety.
No laws were broken.
Disclaimer.
So we were they used to do like all ages clubs in Miami. So we went to this all ages club. So I was there, and I had gotten there a little early, so I was already on my way out because it was not good. And he was coming in with his friends, so we kind of like crossed paths. But our friends knew each other. We were the only ones that didn't know each other. And then his friend, Anthony, remember Anthony?
What's up, Anthony?
Anthony put his arm around me. I didn't know this. And he's like, oh, you're my girl today. And I'm like, no. So I took his arm out. I'm like, whatever, Anthony. So Anthony was like the whole night trying to get my attention. But he caught my eye, not Anthony, but him. Because he was not giving me any attention. So you know how that works.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then what happened after that? Then you fell in love with me, and that's it.
Is that how it went?
That's
Wow.
how it went.
There's a little more to it.
So the goal is don't say anything, and that's how you get it.
Yeah.
That's how you get what you
Anthony
want.
was aggressive. Anthony's we're still great friends to this day, but he shot his shot, so I had to stay back. It's just the man code, right?
man
Sit
code.
back but we were cool enough to read the room, and ultimately, throughout the night, she gave her signals, and I was a little shyer back in the days. I still am in a lot of ways. So I kind of stepped back. So she had to get very creative to figure out how she was gonna get my number, and that's how pretty much it went down. She ended up finding a way to get my number, and the next day she called me, and and literally since then, I don't think there's been a day in our lives that we haven't spoken since that day.
No. I told him my friend Gina likes you, because Gina was there. And
Gina didn't like me. She was just trying to figure out a way to figure it out.
Well, can I have your number so I could give it to my friend Gina? Because she asked me to get your number for her. And he's like, here, whatever. Here's my number. And then I call him the next day, and I'm like, hey, guess who this is? And then he said, who's this? And I said, who do you want it to be? And he said my name. And I said, okay, fine. And then he picked me up that day. He picked me up. I have to say the story.
Yeah.
He picked me up in this like 1970s work van, rusted work van with two. Yeah, remember?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My grandfather's work van.
Heck yeah.
When I
Yes.
moved here from Cuba, the very first vehicle he bought, it looked.
He was like in the transition of buying a new car. I mean, he was 18, like saving his money and stuff. And his grandfather was like, use my van and, you know, whatever.
Nah, yeah, my grandfather had already passed, and my dad had that car sitting in the
Or something.
in the yard, and I jumped on that thing. I didn't have anything else to move on, so I said, you know what? Let's see if she'll get in this van. You know, it's not like I had something hidden that I could surprise her or some kind of wealth behind me. Then it was like a test. It wasn't a test. It was the only car I had.
It's a reality. It's a
Borrowed,
reality.
yeah, it was borrowed. But you know, I showed up. She had zero hesitation to get in the van.
I got
and
in the van. He was
you know,
cute.
we took her out on our first morning date, and a couple weeks later, I had already been working, and I was a hard worker, and I already was saving up money, and I bought a brand new car and a little expedition, which was beautiful. I was like living my best life. So, but it was cool that it showed me who she was, even in just a little glimpse of who she was, by willing to get in that car. I mean, a lot of girls just wouldn't, especially in Miami with some of the mentalities out there. A lot of girls would have been like, no, I'm good.
The van. Yeah, that's
Maybe the van did it.
The van did.
The van
She's
got
into
it.
sketch vans.
It was
Yeah.
the van.
Everything kind of fell in place. That's a funny story though.
Yeah, man.
I mean, that's a slick way.
But the moral of the story is that she chased me down for my number, just so everybody gets that.
That's right. Yeah.
Maybe I
She-
did that a
she-
little bit.
yeah.
A go-getter. So
Yeah,
you're the one with the vision.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
right?
the one with the vision.
The vision.
I know what I want and I go get it.
That's right. That's right. So, well, cool. So you guys start dating, right?
We start dating.
And then I know you had told me you had your first child.
we got married. So he proposed to me when I was 17. So a year later.
All right.
So I was a child still, mind you, 17, it's a child. I'm getting proposed to. I'm like, yes, I want to marry you. My dad had a heart attack, a small heart attack, but he got over it. He's like, he's a good guy. I love him. Yes, go ahead. So we got married. I was 18. 2 months later, I get pregnant with my first child. By 19, I had a child. We had Maddie.
Was it 3 months later?
It was like 2-3 months later.
Yeah.
People thought I was pregnant. People thought I was getting married because I was pregnant.
Right.
Even to this day, the other day I was at the restaurant and my cousin works for us. She does deliveries. I don't know what we were talking about, like having grandkids. Like I'll be having grandkids soon, sooner than later.
Eventually,
And she said, oh yeah, because you got married when you were pregnant. I'm like, you're my cousin. You need to know this. No, I didn't. I was like,
not
I
that it
did
matters
not.
at the end of the day. I mean, hey,
No, it doesn't matter.
some
but
people's
I'm like,
journey is
no,
like
I
that, but
didn't.
it just we could have been,
I
right?
could've
Yeah,
been,
yeah.
But
But our daughter, we say she ruins our anniversary every year because her birthday's in the same month as our anniversary, so a couple days after it. So our anniversary's a couple days after her birthday, so she ruins our anniversary every year. So shout out to Maddie.
Yeah. Well, similarly, like same thing. I proposed to my wife, and probably 2-3 months after is when she got pregnant.
Yeah.
And so we had. So the question for you, because we talked about it. We weren't really like trying.
Yeah.
But she was also on birth control, and me being as smart as I am, I'm like, just why don't you detox your body, get off birth control, detox.
Very concerned.
And so she stopped, and sure enough,
Especially after
got
being on
pregnant.
those
Yeah.
things, man.
So we weren't. I don't want to say we were prepared, but we were excited too at the same time.
Oh yeah.
So were you guys talking prior about like having a family and like kids?
we wanted to have a family, but I think we wanted to I don't know.
I don't even think that we really had the discussion. We knew, we loved each other. We wanted to be with each other, and inevitably that's the next steps that happened. But I mean, if we would have had it our way, we probably would have waited a little bit.
Yeah.
Date each other for a little longer and have a little more fun. But it's one of those situations where God just never gets it wrong, man. His timing is always perfect. And if you asked us today if we would do anything any differently, I can guarantee you 100% zero. We would do it exactly the same. We love that our kids are, still relatable to us. They're, we had them young and we had them quickly, and now we get to
we all
enjoy
grew up
that.
together.
We really did.
We all
Good
grew up.
point.
Yes, our kids grew up with us.
Yeah.
I was 19. I was a child. Like I think of Allie, our 20-year-old. She can't have a child now. Like she's not immature, but she's
a child.
She's a child. Like how did we? By the time I was 21, I already had her and Allie and Maddie.
Oh, jeez.
So yes.
Yeah, we had two by that age, and
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something we wouldn't change, man. That's been part of our blessing in our story, right? Everybody's is different. And
100%.
we were ready for that in hindsight. We didn't know we were, and we had to navigate that and learn a lot of things and kind of figure it out. And like she said, we were kids ourselves, you know?
Yeah. So then, okay, so you have your first one, right? What were you guys doing for work at that point to support
I
yourself?
used to work at the hospital.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he worked.
I was in the restaurant business, man.
That's
I was probably at that point I was maybe cooking a little bit, waiting a little bit, doing anything and everything I can do. Let's just put it that way. I never had less than 2 jobs. 3 was probably the norm. You know, if there was any kind of days off, I was finding work. So there was 0 days off at that point.
So I guess moving forward, where did the Tropical Grill concept start to like arise?
So we moved here.
What made you guys move to South Carolina?
We came to visit a family member, man, and
His aunt moved here, and she's like, "I found this great place. You guys have to come. You know, like houses are affordable, and they were not affordable in Miami. We couldn't have purchased a house in Miami.
They're still like that.
And so we came here to visit. The first time we liked it. The second time we liked it a little more, and then the third time we came, we were like, okay, fine, we're gonna come back and live here. And then we decided to open the restaurant.
Yeah.
Well, there was a pivotal moment there when on our third visit that we talk about a lot, which is a huge part of our story. I mean, our last day, we were getting ready to take that drive back home, and we've shared this story before, but we decided to stop at Brookwood Church that Sunday before we took off. And, you know, we hid in the back of the church, way in the back. It was a busy church full of people, and, you know, I wanted to fall off all the way in the back, and I didn't know anybody, you know, so I just kind of still a little on the shyer side, so I went all the way to the back of the thing, and God grabbed us that day and made it clear that Greenville was going to be our future home, and there's a lot more that goes into that story, but you know that was a very pivotal moment in making our decision, and just what God spoke to us that day, and it was very, very clear.
I've been to Miami a couple of times, but never to like live there. I feel like it's a very high pace, and like there's a lot going on down there, a lot of flashy stuff, of course, the club life. So
For sure.
I mean, did that cross your mind, even having your kids? Like, should we still raise them here? Is that
I think we made the best decision to raise our kids here.
Yeah, because it's definitely slower. I think Greenville is very much growing, but it is slower compared to most other cities. You know.
No, you know, it was again God's timing, man. It was the journey that we needed to be on, right? And it was the right time for us to get out of the hustle and bustle, raise our kids the right way in the right environment, which Greenville offered that, and you know, the amazing people, amazing community, just everything that Greenville offers was the perfect timing for us. You can get away in Miami and escape the life that a lot of people, you know, think of when they think of Miami, and you can still do some things out there and raise kids, but you have to be financially set to be able to do that over there. Yeah. Otherwise, it's a whole different upbringing. Let's just say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not one that I think my kids would have necessarily been ready for. Maybe they would have adapted, right? Like we all did.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they didn't have to. Let's just say that.
Yeah. So when you guys made the decision to start Tropical Grill, was that hey, we're doing this from the get go? Was it like we're doing this together, we're working together, and just like we're going to figure this thing out? Because I mean, you worked in the restaurant, so you had that background. You was in the hospital system, so that
I had the administrative background, but I kind of had to learn the restaurant business on my own with him.
She had management experience, and you know, her organizational skills and all that kind of stuff that she brought with her, which was, you know, something that we needed. A lot of, especially the organizing part. I mean, I knew how to run restaurants, I knew how to manage restaurants, I knew how to do the ins and outs, but you know, it was definitely a team effort.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even shifting gears to like your just mentality, right? Because when you work, you get paid to work. Now you could start a business and work a lot and not get paid.
We didn't get paid for
and we didn't.
a long time.
Yeah, exactly. So share that. You know, you start something and you're like, we got to make this thing work.
Yeah.
Obviously, there was investments to start this thing up. You got to buy food. You got to get employees, and so where's your headspace?
Yeah.
Like as you're growing this thing, because when I talk to most restaurant owners, they're kind of like, it takes almost 3 years to be really profitable to like get your money back, and then you start like building if you make it that long.
you know,
Right.
if you're someone that starts the way we did, I think you go through different steps, right? And people talk about growth. Everybody wants to know about the growth. Forget about growth. We had to survive. That's the first step we had to do, was survive, right?
Yeah.
And it was her and I and my mom and my stepdad, right? We were in there and we were working this thing and doing everything we could to just survive. When I tell you survival, man, it was literally everything in our life was falling apart in that moment, because we put all our eggs in this basket. And like you said, I mean, when you go from working a 9 to 5 or 2 9 to 5s, whatever, you know, however many jobs you can find a way to work like we used to, you know, at least there's a paycheck coming in. So at this point, there was nothing coming in, and we were all looking at each other like, all right, how's this thing gonna go? And we, you know, thank God, everything was God's timing. It was the right time, and you know, we were able to navigate that mode and get through it, and eventually start thinking about, all right, we might have something here. So
is that something that you know, most people would say that one of the hardest things on people's relationships or marriages is finances.
Oh yeah,
it can be a massive conflict for most people.
Oh, yeah.
So did you guys feel that? Like, obviously you guys were in love. The van got her attention, so you had to get rid of the van probably to start the restaurant. But I mean, like, going through that time where like money's really, really tight and you're trying to hustle and make something happen. Like, were you guys able to keep your relationship tight, or was there some?
I'm gonna say one thing, and then I want you to chime in on it, because I would love to hear you know, your thoughts on it. But I will just say this about her, right? Like, as a man, it was like, I feel like it was my responsibility, right, to uphold the family, provide, do all these things, right? She's always been a major part of that, right, because of the way we've lived our life. But I feel like it was all on my shoulders. That's just how I feel as a man, right?
Right.
And when I got to my breaking point where I thought, like, you know, I wanted to wave the white flag, that's where, you know, her, man, I can't ever speak enough about who she is as a human being. Everybody knows her, some parts of her, but I know her as who she is. And man, when she looked at me and said, I don't care if we go under a bridge together, we're going to be together with our kids and we're going to make it happen. She like, pick your head up, let's go. So that's who she is to me, you know. So that was a pivotal moment, but I want to hear her perspective on that.
I don't know if I believed myself in that moment, but I think I did. I'm not a quitter, you know. I'm not the type to just quit easily. So we already started this business. It was doing good. We didn't have enough money to pay our bills, but we'll see all the customers coming in, and you know, it was kind of like, okay, we have something here. We might have something. So it started to look a little better. It started to look worse before it started to look a little better. So by that time, he was like, you know, we had a car repoed from the front of our house. Two of them. So he's like, okay, I think we need to think about, you know, him getting a job and like really paying our bills while I stayed at the restaurant or whatever it was that we needed to figure it out. And I'm like, no. You're part of this. Like, we cannot, or we even thought about going back to Miami, remember?
I told you I was going to call
up
Henry.
I have my job back in Miami. Like,
Henry
if you
Delgado
want
was
to
about
go.
to get a phone call.
I'm like, we didn't come all the way over here for nothing. We already built this. Like, we're not build it, but we're trying to build something.
Her
Even if
exact
it's
words.
under the bridge, but we're going under the bridge together. You're not leaving to Miami, leaving me here. We're going to stick together and we're going to do this. So pick your head up and let's do this. And after that day, like maybe a couple months after, everything started getting better and better. And we started seeing more customers, and we were like really focused on, you know, the business. And
I mean, her exact words at one point were, what was it that you told me? Well, I had convinced her that God, you know, brought us to Greenville for a reason, right? Not for a reason. I had convinced her that we needed to move to Greenville because that's where God was calling us. And, you know, we were young and figuring out life and figuring out our faith. And I didn't know what had been happening in her own heart with her walk with God. And, you know, here I am in my breaking point, and this girl had a rock solid faith that I didn't even know existed. And she told me, nope. She said, you told me that God brought us to Greenville for a reason, and I guarantee you this is not it. Pick your head up. Let's go. Keep going. Come on. You know, so she gave me that.
We're going through the storm now, but it's going to be a rainbow at the end of the storm. It's going to be. It always is. You know, like the calm after the storm or whatever. So
I think it's so powerful for people to hear this, especially if they know you or know about you without like really knowing you, because they see you guys now and you have multiple businesses. They see, you know, you guys go to Miami and then you guys have nice cars and things like that. So everybody just looks at, they only see the end, right? They saw the end of what you guys have accomplished, not what you guys have gone through. Most people have never, well, I mean, I don't want to say this, but we're getting 2 cars repoed. That's tough, you know, in itself.
Perfect credit score. Gone.
You know, and we've talked about that in the past too, of just like building yourself back up.
Oh yeah.
But I'm gonna take it here because you guys already started it because of the whole faith thing. I mean, I know where you stand right now, and I've asked you about like a little bit of how you started to build yours. Were you always like that? Like growing up, was that like going to church and stuff, or when did you really get more into?
So growing
your
up,
walk?
my mom used to take me to Catholic church, so I grew up Catholic.
Okay.
We used to go to church every once in a while, but my faith wasn't really, like, I knew of God, but I didn't have, like, that personal relationship with God that I have now. And I think he was the main part of that. Like, when I met him, he's like, okay, so what was it that you told me? What? He's like, go, you tell me.
Well, I mean, you know, in the Catholic faith, a lot of times, and not really, in Cuba, it's a little different. It goes into a different realm. It's not, I shouldn't say the Catholic faith. Church was taken out of Cuba, so there was a lot of ways religion kind of went in Cuba. So at one point, she pulls out this little saint guy, and you know, it has different meanings to Cuban people, but. You know, I just simply asked her a question. I said, "What does that mean to you?" Right? It was a San Lazaro, ironically, which has my name. You know, but it's not where I think mine originally came from the Bible. But whatever. She pulled out this little guy there, and I look at this thing, and I'm deep in the Word at this point in my life. I'm young, but I'm deep in the Word, and you know, the first thing that came to mind is like, you shouldn't have no idols before me. So I'm looking at this thing, and we're in the car driving, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go down this road and see what happens. I don't know where this is gonna go, but I'm gonna shoot. And I asked her, what does that mean to you? You know, what's up with that? And she answered honestly. She was just like, no, you know, it's just I pray to San Lazaro, and whenever I'm having difficulty or just in general, just when I need prayer, I pray. So I asked her a very simple question. I said, why don't you just pray to Jesus?
Yeah, that's what he said, and I was like.
I never thought about that.
I never thought. I'm like, you're right. Why am I praying to this guy? I could pray to Jesus. Like,
yeah.
But there's, that was just my thought process on that moment was just like, go straight to the man, So obviously, I kept on talking to her about God and just, ultimately her faith came from her own digging and research and a relationship, obviously, but hopefully I played a little role in leading her that way at some point or another. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Your simple questions take people down a whole different path.
Yeah.
I mean,
let me ask you a question. I'm like, oh Lord, what's he saying now?
Yeah, there's some of the stuff you told me I think I'm gonna remember for the rest of my life.
That's awesome.
But yeah. So okay, here's a question for you guys as a couple too, because now he introduced that concept to you. What's your ideas and thoughts on prayer alone, and then do you pray together as well?
So we used to pray alone, and on our own, whenever we pray. But just 2 years ago, I think we started. Not even, like,
maybe a year ago.
A year ago, we said, you know what? Let's pray together. I think there's a big, a big thing about praying together as a couple, because we're aligned in all the stuff we want to do, and our thought process or whatever. So I'm like, let's do it together. So we started praying, and let me tell you something. There's power in praying as a couple together, more power than praying by yourself, because we saw things happen in our lives that we couldn't even imagine. Remember when we prayed for something, the next day it happened.
You can't explain these things in the flesh. The Bible talks about when two come together in prayer, there's power in that, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to be a couple. But I think when God unites a couple together and they pray together, man, I think it was shown to us. It was in my mind. It was just like, this has to have something, right? There may be something here. So we started doing that, man. When I tell you it was instant, man, we were blown away. We were blown away. We prayed about some things that we needed some clarification in our lives. Yeah. And when I tell you it was like that, I mean, we looked at each other the next day when we got a little revelation of how quickly that prayer was answered, and we were just like, wow. So, yeah.
That's deep. Yeah. No, because I think that's a hard. I mean, I'm obviously I'm early in my walk.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much if Laz has told you anything about myself either, but I as a couple, I don't know, 5-6 months ago, I don't know how long it's been. I found myself in a really dark place, and
you find yourself in the best place you can find yourself. Bro.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I say it's the darkest place, but I still pray and thank him for putting me there.
Yeah.
But I say that because his simple questions to me, or my question to you was, how do you build like your relationship, your faith? Like, how did you get to the point you are? And he said the same thing, kind of similar to you, is like, just speak to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I to this day, I'm just like, dude, nobody's ever said that to me.
Yeah,
Most people be like, you need to go to church every Sunday, or you need to, praise the rosary, or, whatever. Like, there's all these things versus like something that's just so simple. And I've never heard that, And so it's just eye-opening for me. And that was prior to me really like hitting where I feel like was a really rock bottom for me. And Laz's little voice back here kind of popped in at the right time. And I was like, maybe this is what I'm supposed to do right now. Mm-hmm. Maybe I should pray right now, And to give you some context, my family was Greek Orthodox. So I would go to church every Sunday. My mom would take me. I couldn't understand what they were saying because the majority is in Greek, right. Or it's like hymns and things like that. Mm-hmm. So I never really got anything out of it. And I'm a kid. I don't want to wake up on a Sunday, Right. So I always, kind of similar to what you said, I believed in God, but I didn't understand, I didn't understand anything more than God created the earth, Adam and Eve, and Jesus died on the cross. That is the extent you could ask me that I would know about. And so when I found myself in this path, and then him, kind of getting in my head while I was going through this dark place, in my mind, I'm like, okay, is this what you want right now? Like, you want me to talk to you right now, And I remember to this day, dude, I was just driving down the interstate, and there's a whole story to this. I've debated on sharing the whole thing.
It needs to be told.
Yeah, I've told you about it. I remember like being in the car driving. It's like 5:30 in the morning, and I'm driving, and I'm like, oh my God, like how I get myself in here, like. And then he popped in my head, and I was like, okay, you want me to talk to you? So I sat there, and I was about to start like praying, like in my mind, and for whatever reason, I was like, that's not good enough. Like you have to verbally speak it. And I was like, okay, I can do this. You don't even know how powerful it is. I couldn't, it felt like forever, but it's probably about 10 minutes. I couldn't get a word out. I felt like I was getting like choked up. Mm-hmm. Like I couldn't like speak nothing. I've never prayed before, I've never prayed to him other than like our Father who art in heaven, something like that. But I never really just spoke.
Yes.
And, I remember driving, I was like, no, you have to. I'm just like fighting back and forth, And then I'm like, why is this so hard? I was like, I'm in the car by myself. Nobody can see me, I'm like, say something. And I finally got myself to a point where I was just like, dear God. I said 2 words. And to this day, like, I still, like, I feel like I'm like, try to choke up.
Crazy.
Dude, I was bawling in the car, like straight waterwork, just like falling. And I was like trying to get myself back together. I'm like, come on, you finish what you got to say, So eventually, like, I pulled myself back together, and I finished. And I told him, I was like, you know what? I'm lost. I thought I could do all of this myself. My success is on me. I worked for it. I earned it. I thought that I knew what I was doing, and apparently I have no idea what I'm doing. And so I just told him, I just asked him, I was like, you know where I'm supposed to be. Help me, get back to that path,
Oh, yeah.
And so I was like, just help me get there, guide me. I don't know what I'm doing,
Yeah.
So I remember, like, I get here to the gym, and, I get myself together. I got people I got to see. So I'm like, I got to gather myself, you know what I mean? Oh, yeah. And I will say, like, since that time, and this is a story for another time, things have just happened, and it has not like fixed everything by no means, but I can tell you definitively from my experience, he has shown himself to me over and over. So
people think that when they start like to walk with God or with Jesus, whatever, that your life is going to be perfect. No, it's not. It's not going to be perfect. It's still life. Like, you make choices in life, or things happen for a reason. I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason. Bad, good, whatever. It happens for a reason. You have to learn something from everything that's bad that happens to you. There's something you need to learn from it.
There's a lesson there.
It's a lesson.
Yeah.
It's a lesson that I don't know if it's God or if it's
Sometimes it takes years to
happened.
make sense of it, but
Yeah.
it always proves itself.
I think that's where your faith has to be very strong.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's, like you said, there's just things that'll happen that you just like, why would you let this happen?
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you're the creator and you are the one like making, and you know what's going to happen, why would you allow something like this? But you have to know and trust, like,
Yeah. And
we
the
may not
reality
understand now.
Yeah. And the reality is that, you know, we were human. We make mistakes, right? So sometimes, you know, free will takes over and we find ourselves in positions that we have to, you know, get back centered with God and say, all right, you had the perfect road for us, but we deviated a little bit. Help me get back in line here and straighten out.
Yeah.
You know, it's part of the journey. So
Yeah. So there's a lot of power in that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, no, yeah. So, yeah.
I love that, man. I love
That's
it.
a lot.
Definitely
You
need to
definitely
share
play
that
a
story
role
in
with
its
me.
entirety. And I'm just loving, you know, what God is doing in your life, man. I see it, and
Well, thank you.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. It's definitely brought me, it's got my heart back right and got me focused. And it's something that, you know, and going back to like, you know, as a man, we feel like we should be protectors, providers. We need to make sure that our family's taken care of. And I think that's part of it, like introducing that faith into our children. Because, you know, inherently, I mean, if at least from what I know, you know, we're born into sin.
Exactly.
You know, you don't have to teach a kid to lie. You're like, hey, did you grab that? Yeah, they did. You know what I mean? It's just natural to them, you know? So you have to kind of guide them like that. And that's something I just recently started doing with my son is at night, you know, I have to lay down. My son's 7. I lay down with him and I ask him, I'm like, you want to pray? And he's never said no.
That's awesome.
You know, the first time he's like, well, what do I say? I said, whatever you want. You know, tell them about your day, you know, just say thank you.
that,
You know,
man.
I don't want anything to be feeling forced because I know if you would have asked me or talked to me 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I would have never like disrespected me. Like, oh, don't talk to me about that. I'd just been oh yeah, just right over my head. Yeah.
Let's get this
You know,
conversation moving.
so I feel like people have to be ready to like listen, accept.
100%.
When that time comes, I mean, it will be on then. But, you know, until that point, you know, I tiptoe around what I say about stuff like that in some sense, you know?
Yeah.
So, but okay. So I'm gonna shift gears a little bit with you guys. So as your business starts to pick up, well, let me ask you this. Was there something specific that you realized that was really starting to help your business grow?
Man, just consistency, really, man. We were just in there.
Service.
Yeah,
We
customer
were there.
service was everything.
Yeah. We were there, and his mom and his stepdad were there at nighttime. We were there in the mornings, and it's just giving making
Making
each
people feel
customer
welcome.
feel welcome, and they're at our house, you know,
Yeah.
kind of. So.
That was a big part of it, but another huge part of our success was that the people that loved us, man, they rallied behind us, man. They went out and they told everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah. The prayers that we didn't know about, the ones we did know about, you know, the people that just genuinely were there, you know, praying for our success and doing everything they could to go out there and just spread the
There was
word.
people that will come in to eat 4 times
Yeah.
a week. I'm like, I know you don't want Tropical Grill 4 times a week. You don't like this big sandwich. He's like, yeah, but I got to keep you open. I'm like,
That's
I
awesome.
appreciate that
Yeah.
We
so
had a lot
much.
of that. A lot of that.
Yeah.
Well, that's got to be okay. This is for like even people that want to get in the restaurant or already in the restaurant, you know, because that's a hard thing to shift out of, becoming like the face of a location. You know, when people are coming in, and I do that too. I will go to a certain place.
Yeah.
Their food is good, but I'm doing it because I want to support them, but I also want to see them. I want to see them there. I want to talk to them. So when you decided to open up, you know, your second or third location, how was that? Or did you go to the new one, hang out there for a little while?
I did.
And then,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I opened the second location. He stayed at the first location. So we kind of like separated and
Divide and conquer.
divide and conquer.
Yeah.
And then the third location, we would go when the locations would open. We would be there for a while. And it's just teaching our employees, look, make people feel at home. Customer service, like
Hardest thing to do, man.
hardest thing to
Yeah.
do because not everyone
Yeah.
has that personality.
Yeah, that level of care anyway.
Yeah, or the level of care. But you know,
And it's just, I mean, it's just you guys really that run and own all the Tropical Grills. Is that correct?
Yeah,
For the most
yeah,
part?
my mom, and my stepfather, they ended up staying with the second location, right?
Yeah,
so, they've always ran that location, and that's their baby there, and we just continue to grow, you know. So,
Yeah. It never crossed your mind to say, as you're getting multiple places, maybe I need a partner for one location or someone to really like hold it steady, hold it down kind of deal?
Yeah, I mean, we've thought about everything, and we've looked at what others have done to kind of figure out, what's the right path for us, and we've played around with a little bit of that, but ultimately we feel like, us holding it down is probably the best way to continue to grow and kind of keep control of it. And obviously you have to have a great team, right? And we have,
And we do. We have a great team that, we can't be everywhere all the time.
That's right.
So.
We have, she's my cousin, but she's really like my sister. She's been with us forever,
She's awesome.
she's out there. She gets after it. She doesn't play around.
She cares,
She cares. That's the big.
That's
You
hard.
can't teach people to care. It has to come from you. And
We have a great
family,
district team.
She cares.
Our director of operations is phenomenal. I mean, somebody that I can trust with our eyes closed. So it's a team effort, obviously.
Yeah.
That.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, like finding someone that cares.
Yeah.
I mean, at least when we were in the restaurant, I mean, you'll have for us, we were kind of more of like a diner vibe, you know?
Yep.
And so you'd have either your older individuals that were there they're not going anywhere, you know? They're trying to retire there pretty much. Yeah. But then you'd have the young kids. And at least for us, we got a lot of young kids in high school, and their parents were just like, hey, just have a job and I'll pay for your car and your insurance. Yeah. And so they were just there. It's just bodies just standing there. Yeah. And to get people motivated that doesn't really care, that's hard. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to do.
And sometimes those young people end up being your best people. I mean, some of those people, they come in with no bad habits and they do phenomenal.
We've had young kids that start with us as a cashier, and they end up being a manager. Years later.
Yeah.
And then they go on to doing their own thing and things like that.
Which that's the best thing, man.
Yes,
that's the coolest
nice
part of
see.
what we get to do is see people who started with us young, and hopefully we've helped, mentor them in any kind of way, even in the smallest way, man, and eventually seeing the fruit of their labor, right? Them going out and creating businesses and getting into the corporate world and doing things that, that they maybe never thought they could do. And, every once in a while, you always go through the hard times with those people, because if you care about them, you have to be real and you have to be a little difficult on them to teach them and to help them grow. But every once in a while, man, we're blessed with people that come back to us and we're like, man, I don't know if I'd be where I am without, learning what I learned from you guys. And, that's the biggest blessing, man, when you see people do their thing and start growing their business and being successful.
They're
man,
like our kids. Like, we treat them like our kids,
yeah, man,
Yeah.
It's the coolest thing.
I can't separate it. Like, you're like my child, so I have to
Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, because, that means that you care,
And we had that, I had that for sure. I had that from people that I couldn't always reach out to. And even if I never reached out, or just things that they did throughout my journey that taught me things, and, that I wouldn't be where I'm at without those people. So we try to be that as much as we can.
So how was it, as you're building these businesses, how was it raising your kids? Because they're still young, right? I mean,
Yeah.
They're not even, are they a teenager even at that point?
Probably. Maddie was, Maddie was like 6.
Yeah, they were children.
And Jaden was 1. So, and Natalie was 5.
Did you have them in the booths of the restaurant? That's where I used to hang out. I used to hang out in a booth.
Absolutely, man. Early on, they used to get into that little office and hang out for a little while. And, and our oldest was always the one that you had to kind of fight her off of the register. She would always want to come take over the register.
She knows where she needs to be. That's where.
She did such a good job at 8.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
She could barely see over the register, but she would do such a good job. She
really
works
was
with
great.
us now, so
Okay.
yeah.
That's super.
She's tried to get away from this business, man, but she's found herself in it, man, and it's cool. She's still young, man, so it takes time for people to kind of really see what their role is going to be, and we're starting to see that with our own eyes, trying to see, what her care and her attention things are starting to really show itself. She's still young, man. She's going to go out, and we encourage her to not get too in over her head just yet, but at the same time, learn, pick this thing up so that
And she has like the eye for the restaurant business. She'll go in a restaurant and this is wrong and this is wrong, and
Yeah.
Do you give her like a little freedom to like help adjust certain things? Like if she sees something that's like, I think it might be a little better this way.
Yeah, for sure.
You let her try, like run it out.
Yeah, she's definitely helped out in many different ways in that way. But it's crazy because they all have their own journey. With her, it seems like this is something she's going to be a part of. Yeah. And then our middle, she was always been like, I want nothing to do with chicken. I want nothing to do with the restaurant business.
She wants nothing to do with chicken. I don't want to smell like chicken when I walk in my house. I'm like, okay, Allie, whatever.
Which I applaud that too, man. Like, go do something else,
so
by all
means. She decided to go to college. She wants to be a dentist. So that's her passion.
Okay.
So I'm good with that. And then Jaden loves the restaurant business. So he'll stick with us.
That dude is all in. Yeah. He's still figuring out, and there's still a lot of hard lessons that we got to teach because That's
Only
that's a
16.
conversation there, man. Having your kids work for you, that's a whole different world.
Oh my God.
You know, it's one thing we work together. Now we got to manage our kids. Can you imagine? I mean,
I manage Maddie.
Good
Oh,
God.
he manages Maddie, but I mainly manage Maddie, our oldest.
Yeah.
And the other day, she's like, Mom, because I'm a tough boss. Like, to me, it's all play, no games. Like, I mean, all work, no play. All work, no
Maddie's
play.
all.
Maddie's all play, like no work.
Yeah.
But
No,
sometimes, but she
job.
does a great job.
Yeah.
But, you know, sometimes she wants to, like, she doesn't know how to, like,
No, let's keep it real. Listen, this girl has a way of doing things, which is not how most people do things.
I'm very
She's
OCD.
very, very
I'm very,
focused.
like, we got to get this
She's
done.
about her work. She takes care of business. When she's on the clock, bro, she's working. So I try to tell her, listen, you're you for a reason. Everybody's not going to be you. She's 21. Eventually, maybe that'll be part of her
have to,
personality.
like, you know.
But let her get there.
Yeah.
But, like, we're in the office and someone comes over, I don't know for what, and Maddie
A
gets
fly runs through and
A
she-
fly goes through and she already follows the fly through the whole office. And
Not
then I'm like,
literally.
Maddie, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm getting a break. I'm like, there's no breaks. There's no breaks. You need to sit and you need to work. And the
after
other
it.
day she tells me, she's at my house, she goes, can you just be my mom again? Like, just my mom. I just wanted to go back to just you being my mom only. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, yeah, you're my boss and my mom. But I just want you to be my mom. Can you be my mom at work? I'm like, no, sorry.
Not at work.
Not at work, I'm your boss. And then at home, I'm your mom and your boss. So, so about that.
Deal with it.
Deal with it. It's like, okay.
Yeah, that's an interesting dynamic, you know, because that is the hard thing. I mean, I worked with my father. My father was obviously older, and a lot of the older generation, they have a hard time changing.
Yeah.
They are set in their ways. They don't like to go too far out. My parents encouraged me to go to college. I don't think they wanted me to be in the restaurant business. So
I don't blame them. The restaurant business is tough.
It's tough,
It's one
yeah.
of the toughest businesses out there. I'm telling you.
Oh no,
It's
for
hard.
sure. Yeah, I mean, I tell people all the time. That's why, I was telling you guys earlier, I can't do it. I wouldn't go back. I think there's different levels of hard in anything that you do.
Yeah,
But coming
100%.
from that lifestyle is very difficult because you could have a vacation planned and then your main cook leaves or something happens and go ahead and
Story of
cancel
our
that.
life.
Yeah, go ahead and cancel whatever plane tickets you got. It's a wrap, you know?
We used to take little vacations back in the day with the kids, like Disney, wherever. So we used to drive the minute we step foot in
Across the
Florida,
state line, man, it's over.
county line, whatever, Florida state line, something happens. Something breaks. We get a call from the restaurant. We got to turn back. I'm like, oh my God, we can never go on vacation. That's why we used to not plan vacations. It used to be like, okay, I think we have, like
Just a
a
random,
couple of
let's
days.
go.
Let's just go.
You take it when you can get it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. So I went to college, and I got introduced into college by training at a gym, and the guy there, he was the head of the exercise science department. He's like, Chris, you need to come over here. You can get a good career. You'll be a strength and conditioning coach. Like, there's so much you could do. I was like, hyped it up. He's like, I'm gonna give you a tour. I'm like, all right, I'll come over there. So I went over there, and it was great. I was like, oh, cool. I never really thought I was gonna go to like a university. That just wasn't really like what I was planning on doing. And so I signed up. But by the time it was my senior year, we had to start putting resumes together and looking for jobs. And it was like a gut punch. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, how am I supposed to live on these salaries?
Right.
It was disgusting, I mean, my college tuition costs more than what I'm going to make in a year, you know? So, I was already at the tail end. I was like, I might as well finish this thing.
Yeah.
So I did. I finished it and went back to my dad. And I was working in the restaurant during that time too. And I was like, Pops, I think I'm gonna stay here. And he looked at me, he's like, you sure? I was like, yeah, I think so. And you guys kind of made a comment too, but I was good at what I did.
Yeah.
You were.
Yeah, I was very good at what I did. I knew how to work with people. I knew how to put out food, make sure it's right. I knew how to train people. Because one of the biggest things, and I don't know why I did this from the beginning, but this is probably the best decision I made when I did get in there. My dad asked me, where do you want to start? You want to be in the front or the back? And I was like, no, I want to be in the back. And he was like, you sure? I'm like, yeah. And I could have went back there because I'm the boss's son and be like, do that. But I didn't. I went back there and I'm like, yo, side by side, we're doing this together.
Yeah.
And by doing that, I earned a lot of trust and respect from them. And dude, they would do anything for me. I mean, we would have someone come in as a new employee and try to argue with me Or one time I almost got in a fight and my employees dragged him out the door and get out of here. Don't ever come back, you know? Yeah. But that's the kind of like level I think is like how you build like a good team and a good camaraderie. It's like,
100%.
Yo, I'm going to rock with you with this one. And then as time goes on, they're like, yo, Chris, chill. We got this.
Yeah.
We got this. So that's how I started to kind of build my team in the back end. But unfortunately, my father's so hard-headed. He liked control.
Yeah.
A lot of it. And he would come back there and he would mess stuff up on purpose to just mess with me, I think, you know. And
pushing you, man.
Pushing you. Mm-hmm. And so
building character.
Yeah. But it's hard. It was hard for me because I can't, when you don't have control to be able to do things where you see like the timeline going and they're stuck, I kind of hit a roadblock. And there's more in depth in that kind of story. But inevitably, that's when I decided to leave. I was like, I got to do something on my own, which is a scary jump, you know, anytime you do something like that. So
let me ask you a question. Let me flip it on you. Would you be who you are without that restaurant experience, without that being in the trenches in there?
No
chance.
No. I think it's cultivated me significantly. You know, learning how to work with different people. Yeah. Obviously, I mean, we had people that were like convicts. Yeah. And then you also have like good quality, like good chefs. Yeah. And everything in between. Yeah. You know, and you learn so much about people, but also just like the work ethic. Like there's a time when you can kind of joke and play, but there's a switch. Yeah. You know, and when you gotta, if you hear like the receipts, the tickets that come back, if you have that, oh my God. Dude, that thing, you know, and that thing just rolling, it's hitting the floor. And I'm like, we're on, it's on. And we would run it.
I think that's fun.
That pressure prepares you for real life.
It is so fun. And it's like when you finish and get it done and over, it's like winning a championship. Yeah.
It's cool because I see you in your day-to-day world, right? Just being in here and watching you with your people and how great you are with people in general, right? And I just feel like, you know, your journey and it's still evolving and it's a beautiful story already, right? But just seeing how you interact day to day is like God makes no mistakes, man. At the end of the day, that's what I think of because He put you in that environment to put you here, to put you into being able to just literally speak to anyone. And
it's crazy because like people ask, you know, I live in Spartanburg, so it's about no traffic, and if I'm moving 35 minutes, traffic it's almost an hour, you know, for me to get here. And people are like, dude, why you go all the way to Greenville just to work out? And I was like, I don't know, I like the gym, you know? And about 6 months in, AJ, the owner here, he's trying to get trainers to, you know, come train their people here. And then he was trying to rent out this room that we're in right now. And I remember coming in here, there's nothing in here. It's like boxes and random stuff. And I told AJ, I was like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really want to train anybody. I need a place to work. And I want to do the podcast, and it's easy for me to do content because I can just walk out here. And so he worked a deal with me, and I was like, cool, like, let's do this. And since then, just being at this gym, I've met some of the best people I could have ever met. You guys being, you know, part of that too. But it's just, it's such a breath of fresh air. And then also just, again, the quality and the type of people, like where your hearts are at, they're like, it's pure, you know what I mean? And so I build like really good relationships with people here, and it's opened up a lot of opportunities for me as well. So, you know, it's a little bit of drive, but it's put me in such a different place, and even again, changing me into who I am today and how I want to serve people.
No mistakes, brother. So
and even DeVito. So DeVito, if anybody doesn't know DeVito is the manager of the gym. He'll see me come in here. You know, there's days I come in here, I'm here at like 6 a.m. and I don't leave till 6:30. There's been times close to 7:30 some days. And he's like, Chris, you're still here? And I'm like, yeah, dude. I was like, just one of them days I gotta do what I gotta do. But you know, coming from the restaurant business, 12 hours ain't nothing. No. You know, it's nothing to me. You know, do I want to do that all the time? No, you know, but like I used to work 7 days a week. My dad would not take a day off. He kept it open 7 days a week. 100%. And I was a morning person back then too. So 6 a.m. I'd unlock the doors. We'd do breakfast. I would leave 1 o'clock for lunch, go to the gym, and then
come right back.
Back. Yeah. And then I would leave 9. I'd help the guys shut down a little bit and let someone else close up. Yep. And rinse and repeat.
So you were there all day?
All day, every day, you know? So
I can relate to that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, I mean, let's get into that one too, because you guys come to the gym regularly.
Yeah.
You know, so has that always, health and fitness kind of always been there, or have you started to lean into it at a certain point in your life? Like consistently, I guess you could say.
Go ahead.
Well, the restaurant business consumes you, man. It takes every bit of you, every part of you, right? And, you know, her as a mom, it was my responsibility to try to take on as much more of that as I could, right? Because she already had a full-time job as a mom on top of Tropical Grill, right? So I say she got to go home. She got to go home and work. That's what she got to go home because being a mom is a full-time job, right? So for me, for a long time, man, you know, I've talked to you a little bit about, you know, me having to get a little more serious about fitness just because the restaurant consumed me, man, and my schedule was being dictated by everyone except for me, right? So I at some point I had to put a hard line in the sand and say, all right, I'm going to get in here, I'm going to do this. After that, then the restaurant can have me, you know? So, but you want to add something to that? I don't know if you were going to say something.
Yeah. No, I remember us talking about that actually outside the door here one day because you had made that kind of comment to me about like you come here in the morning and you really just like you don't answer any phone calls or do business specific until I'm sure it happens, right? But like you try to like get your time in before you give it to everybody else. Yeah. And even you made a comment too because you'll have, you know, food distributors of like, hey, I want to talk to you about this and this and this. And you're like, yeah, just email it to me. Like, no, I really want to sit down with you. And you'd be like, you told me, no. I was like, I'm not going to sit there and, you know, mess with you. Send me what you got and I'll get back to you. Yeah. And I was like, dude, that's what it takes. And then I was like, man, he's spending 15 minutes with me. I'm honored right now. You know,
you know and it's really just to be respectful of their time as well, right? Because, you know, if I need to know what your motive is, what you got, you know, give me the whole deal so I can know if I'm going to waste my time and your time, you know, because if it's a mutual situation, then we'll meet. But if it's not, and you know, we're just wasting each other's time at that point. So it's trying to be respectful to other people. But, you know, for me, it was a hard line in the sand because I started to feel the effects of that world on my body, right? I started to get anxiety for the first time in my life. And I was really like going down a rabbit hole that, I mean, I never imagined I could go down. And I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what was causing it. But eventually, you know, stress almost got me, man. It really genuinely almost got me. So I had to change everything up and say, this is my time. Nobody's touching it. And I get in here and do what I got to do.
Me to the gym. I don't like working out. I mean, I like working out once I'm working out. I'm like, okay, I like this. But I'd rather do something else with my time, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course.
Things I'd rather do. Yeah. But he pushes me, and I'm glad he does because I was able to lose weight, you know, and I feel like I'm in better shape now than I was, you know, a couple years ago with him pushing me. So, you know, and healthier as well. And it's not only about looks, it's about health.
100%.
Well, what it's done for your mind too, right? I mean, you function a lot better when you're dedicated to the gym.
I mean, I go through a lot of stress at work as well with the restaurants, but this kind of helps me like release some stress here too. So I'm glad he helps me.
There was a time when we opened a restaurant. This is like a pivotal moment in our lives, and we're talking about family, marriage, and business, right? The whole thing as a whole, right? There was a point where I decided I was going to open a restaurant in Colombia. And there's a story very little people know. Yeah, I've never shared this, but we opened the restaurant in Columbia, South Carolina, right? And
it was number 3 now. Yeah. So we had Pelham.
Okay.
We had the other one that his mom owns now. So she was working on that one already, so we didn't have to deal with that one as much. Yeah. And then we were opening up Colombia.
That was going to be number 3. Yeah.
That was going to be number 3.
Or it was number 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so it required him to go to Colombia and manage it because we didn't have a lot of funds to like hire a manager and things like that.
We were making a very modest living. It wasn't. We weren't out there.
And this opportunity was like to open a restaurant.
Too good to pass up.
Yeah, it was too good to pass up. So I stayed at the Pelham location, but now I had to work all day long. So I had to work open to close. I will go home for like a couple hours in the between like the 2 o'clock to 5, and then I will go back to the restaurant all day. But he had to sleep in the restaurant.
Well, it started off. Oh yeah, that wasn't the game plan.
That was not the game plan.
When we were running our business plan, it was like, all right, Lazaro sleeps in the restaurant.
That was not the game plan.
Put a little pad under our desk, you know.
We didn't have money for another like house in Colombia or hotels every day like that.
Yeah,
that's a pretty penny if you start adding it up. Yeah. So he's like, okay, no problem. I'll drive every day from Colombia. I'll leave at 5 a.m. I'll drive to Colombia an hour and a half, almost 2. And then at 10:30, when the restaurant closes, I'll drive back home. I'll sleep for a couple hours. So he did that for like a week until
Well, I did it a little longer than that. I did it probably
2
for
weeks, maybe?
almost a month.
Almost a month.
Yeah.
But he started falling asleep on the way home.
I was beat, dude.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
beat. It was physically impossible for me to continue down that road. Physically impossible.
So now we don't have a manager at the restaurant, so he's the manager. So he's like, you know what? I'm just going to have to sleep in the restaurant. I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. But he did. So he, well, you tell him because you.
Well, you know, yeah, I did that drive, right? I was doing that drive and I was literally killing myself, man. I was driving 2 hours back in the middle of the night. And when I close the restaurant, I'm closing it right. So, I mean, sometimes I leave there at 11 o'clock at night, 2 hour drive, get up at 5:30 in the morning, 2 hour drive, open the restaurant. So I didn't have a lot of help. We couldn't afford it. And I definitely couldn't afford accommodations in Colombia. So, you know, I said, all right, you know, it's part of the sacrifice, right, that you do for your kids, for your wife, for your family, for your business. These are the things that you do as a man, right? So, you know, I said, all right, I'm going to start staying in this restaurant. I'm going to sleep there. So what I would do was I had my inflatable bed in the trunk of my car, right? So I would go and I'd close up the restaurant with the few employees that I have. And I locked the door. All right, guys, have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. I'd walk out to the car. I'd turn on my car. I'd put my car in reverse, and then I'd look around. All right, they're all gone. Put that thing in park. Go to the trunk. Grab my air mattress, and go. And I would literally. I mean, this is somewhat embarrassing, but it is what it is. It's life, right? You got to do what you got to do in life. But we had a mop-sink. And I would wear sandals, just for the record. I would put my bare feet in that thing. But that was my shower, man. I would shower in a closet of a mop room, man. I would shower in there. I had my soap, my things, everything in my little bag, and I'd put this thing together, man, and I'd fall asleep, right?
And then Friday, he would come home.
Friday, I had somebody to cover my Saturdays and my Sundays at the very least. So I was like, all right, if I can do that, I can maintain this thing.
But what happened was Maddie, our oldest.
Yeah.
Maddie and him are like this. That's daddy's girl, like all the way. So, and they're exactly
They're both
alike.
my girls.
They are, but Maddie's like very tight with you, and they're exactly alike. So she starts seeing like that's not home. What's happening? So she starts, on the way to school or whatever. She's like, Mom, where's Dad? Are you and Dad okay? Are you doing okay? Because I don't see Dad.
How old is she at this point?
8.
She was like 8 or 9. Maybe.
Okay, yeah.
She's like, I really miss Dad. Like, where's Dad? I'm like, he's working, Tell me the truth. Are you guys okay? Because I don't see him that much here. And this is weird. Because she's always seen us together all day long.
Yeah.
Until one day, I think you called she called him. She's
she
like,
called me. I was working.
can't do this anymore, Dad. I miss you so much. I need you to come
Well,
home.
she asked me, what's going on with you and Mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, yeah, are you guys getting a divorce? I was like...
And
So
she's
funny,
like,
the
"I
kids
miss
are
you so
young, man,
much."
but they watch.
Yeah.
She's like, I miss you so much. The things are not the same. You need to come here. Like, I need you to be here. I can't do this. He literally told me, I can't do this anymore. It's done. I'm closing the restaurant. It's done.
Yeah.
And he literally closed the restaurant and he came back home.
And the crazy part about that is, our original store at that point was doing great, right? It was great numbers. And I would call her every day and I'd be like, where you at? And I was actually beating their numbers. So we had a store that was actually more successful than our most successful restaurant. So from a numbers standpoint, it's like, man, this is it.
Yeah.
We got something here, right? And I got that phone call, man, and I was like, nah, man.
There would have
worth
been
it.
another 6 months of him doing that. And, Maddie was just like, I can't. And then she started, crying every day. And it's just, a lot of times it's not about money. It's you have to put it in a scale. Like, is it worth it? No.
Yeah.
Like, my kids are better.
No amount of money was worth that, man.
No.
But that's the part that people don't see. That's the sacrifice that people really don't see. They see the success and they see all that. But that part, that's what really, that's the journey.
That's a hard decision to make, dude. Because I think some people would have not chose what you chose.
No.
They're in their mind is, I'm doing this for you guys.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm willing to sacrifice this for you guys. You don't understand now, but you will later.
Exactly.
And I mean, I see a lot. I mean, my dad did that.
Yes.
I didn't see my dad very often because he worked every day, all day, with good intention.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But that's where we had a massive gap in our relationship.
Yeah.
And I think that's, from an outsider looking in, you guys have an amazing relationship with your kids.
Oh, yeah, man.
And so
We're thankful. I mean, we're blessed to have such a good relationship with our kids. I mean,
And with each other, man. That's our biggest blessing we have.
But you have to work on that. That's not something that relationships, you have to work on your relationships. If you don't work on it and constantly like water it, you know, it's not gonna grow. It's not gonna get stronger. It's gonna die. You have to water it. You have to like be intentional about your relationships in life. If it's with your wife or with your kids.
Especially when you have kids.
Especially when you have kids.
Yeah. Because when you have kids, you know, your moms are going to be mom. And if you're blessed to have a great mom as a wife, she's going to be a mom. So, you know, with us, it's always been important and we've always been intentional. You know, outside of the chaos of the restaurant and trying to grow something, right? We had moments where we weren't dating. We were seeing each other at work every day. we were in the grind together all day, every day. Yeah. So there was no time for a date, man. Our date was in Tropical Grill, right? So, but, you know, once
you want to get lunch?
You want to sit down?
But then
sit down together? I'll see her from over there. Like, get lunch? Yeah, all right, I got it. You know? But,
dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, but, you know, as we started to get... I tell people, man, we gave up a lot of our life early on to be able to do the things we do now, right? That was the sacrifice, right? So, but when we started to get a little bit of that time, man, we've always been extremely, extremely intentional about our date night and even selfish with the kids. Oh, because kids are going to want to do something every day, all day, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Dad, Mom, look, can we do this? Can we do that? I'm like, nope. Tonight's, me and Mom are dating tonight. We're going
and then
out.
I feel bad for them.
Yeah.
I'm like, Maddie, come on, you can come. No, it's okay. Have your date night with Dad.
Yeah. So we
they know how to work me too. My kids know how to work me.
They do. But we've always prioritized that, right? And that's why we have the relationship we have. I mean, it's real. It's we can never come close to really describing our relationship or showing who we are as a couple. It's Facebook, Instagram, pictures, blah, 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 all that would never come close to describing what we have. And it's intentional. It's work. It's effort, you know? That we put in.
But on the flip side too, you see a lot of people on social media and they think they have this amazing, strong bonded, lavish lifestyle. And it's just a massive chaos.
It's not always what you see.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, our relationship would be exactly the same. If we had nothing, we might be, our dates might be a little different. We might just be, you know, pulling up a towel on the beach and eating, peanut butter jelly sandwiches. But we'd be just as happy. I mean, we'd still be loving each other the way we love each other because, you know, we're blessed to have the things we have. We're blessed to be able to have some of the memories that we've been able to create, thanks to God. But it's a relationship, man.
Yeah.
And it takes years to build that. Like, we've been together 25 years. Yeah. You know, it's never, like, our relationship has never been perfect all the time. No, right. Whoever tells you that, they're lying.
Yeah.
We've had our moments. We've had our, you know, especially when the kids were little, because I was all into the kids. Like, I was like super mom, you know. My kids come first. My kids still come first, but you have to learn how to like be a mom, but at the same time be a wife.
Yeah,
like, you know,
that's where we
tough.
disagree sometimes. My kids don't come first. She comes first.
That's what he tells the
Straight
kids.
up.
And they're like, what do you mean? I'm supposed to come first.
Yeah.
He's like, no, because without a good foundation with us, then you don't have a good...
Then everything else falls apart.
I agree with that too.
Yeah.
My son, he's a daddy's boy right now. I told you this other day.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, man. He loves being around me. And it's probably because I'm not there all the time, you know, I'm working and stuff. My wife's always home for the most part with him, but I always want to be with me. And it's always like team boys. It's boys' night, you know, if my wife's going to go see her friend or something. Yeah. And I always have to tell him, I was like, son, I love you to death, you know, but just remember this. I picked your mom first for a reason. You came afterwards, you know? So I just kind of put it like that because, you know, I want us all to be a team. But that is something that I was always very mindful of. And I struggle with it to this day. You know, when I left the restaurant, knowing how, you know, my father was and him working all the time and not having that like strong bonding relationship, I didn't want to do that, you know? So when I got into what I'm doing now, I wanted to make sure that I had that flexibility to be able to go to a swim practice, a game, a school event, or whatever it may be. I wanted to know that I could do that anytime that I wanted to do that. And so that's where I find myself now, where I can do that, you know. But I also, when there's not things going on, I work. And I don't know if that's from my past too. Like I'm just ingrained to like work like that. But I try to find more balance with that to make sure that I'm being present when I'm home, and then also making time to have those date nights. Because, you know, and she, if she listened to this, I'm sure she will listen to this. We struggle with that because, we want to be with our son,
right?
But we also need to like that time for ourselves as well. So trying to like juggle that with me having kind of minimal time where I can, go out and do things. We try to do it together, but we also do need that like that one-on-one time, I think.
Yeah. I feel like kids live in the big moments, right? And with kids, I think sometimes we overcomplicate things, right? You obviously have to spend the day-to-day time with them, right? But kids live in the big moments, man. You take a day to do something big with them, and especially when they're young, and create that big memory. But a couple, you need that intimacy every single day. You need to get together and speak to each other, and just conversate and spend time together, really. So and it's a daily thing.
I mean, I love it, but we literally spent all day together.
Yeah. I think in 25 years we've probably had a handful of days where we haven't been with each other, and it's been with something to do with one of the kids or something, had some kind of event or something like that, which it works for us, man. It works for us. So
hey, I mean, everybody's relationship has got to work for you. Everybody's
that's
different.
how ours works. And
but that's hard to, I mean, when you're with someone all the time, probably when you guys are away from each other, it's like, this doesn't feel right. This is weird. I don't like this, like uncomfortable.
But we got to do what we got to do sometimes, we got to be able to do that as well. So.
Yeah. That's what me and my wife always tell her. I mean, like, you're my best friend.
Yes.
I want to do everything with you.
Yep.
I want to talk to you about everything.
Yeah.
So she allows me to do what I'm doing now because she understands, like, it takes a lot of work, a lot of effort.
Oh, yeah.
We try to do the, like, work together thing.
Yeah.
Our dynamic is not meant for that.
Yeah. Most people's is not.
Not every dynamic is meant for that.
Yeah. So we tried it, and
it works for us.
Yeah. And she helps me in a lot of areas that I need her to help me in that I can't do. Right. So again, it's for our family and our lifestyle, it's a good dynamic.
We would never, whenever we have people trying to get with us and even want some kind of advice, they feel like we have some kind of relationship that they want to eventually have or whatever the case, we never try to put this type of expectation in the sense of, oh, you should work together. You should that doesn't work for most people. Like, I would never recommend that to anybody.
That's like a recipe for disaster.
It can be, man.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
If you cannot work together.
Yeah.
Not everybody.
It just happens to work for us. So.
I got a funny question for you guys.
Yeah.
So when you guys go out on date night, what do you talk about? Do you talk about business, or do you talk about like?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
For a long time, it was like that. For a long time, it was work. I think we've done pretty well the last probably 5 years or so, where we've been able to kind of shut it down and really just talk to each other.
Be in the moment.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing. So again, me and my wife don't work together, but certain things happen. I do things. I'm excited. I want to like, I want to talk about it, or like, hey, I'm doing this, or whatever it may be. And she's like, Chris, can we just not talk about work? And I'm like, what do I talk about? I got to think about it because my mind's like, we're so rolling, and I'm like, okay, Chris, like reel it back. So now, and I have to put effort in it. When we do go out to eat, I don't even take my phone in the restaurant with me anymore. I just leave it into the car, and because nothing's important at that point in time. Exactly. Nothing's going to make or break if I don't answer a phone call, in that 2 hours or 3 hours or whatever it may be. So, and I only started doing that probably a year and a half ago or so.
That's good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
If we've ever had a struggle, that would be.
That.
She does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She'll still complain about it, like on a normal, like going out and about. But yeah.
If we've ever had any kind of struggles, it's been that, right? Because her time stops at a certain time of day, right? Her work stops. She has a cutoff, where mine doesn't until at least 10 o'clock, 10:30, maybe 11. That's when all communication pretty much stops for the most part. So for a long time, she would tell me, like, dude, put down the phone, put the work away. And I'm like, there's two sides of it, right? There's a part where, she's right. I need to do better, right? And we went through this transition, it's communication, and if you want to have a successful marriage, you have to listen to the other side, right? So, for me, it was trying to navigate, all right, my wife is telling me that I need to put my phone down, that I need to put work away. And then me at the same time telling her is like, we have this lifestyle that we got to keep up with. Do you want to continue down this path?
I think there's a middle.
There is. And that's where we've had to find that middle ground, right? So, sometimes it's important, and I don't care what we got going on. I don't care if we're in dinner right now and having the best night of our lives. We could be dancing. I don't care. But I need to take this call. Yeah. That's just part of the life. It is what it is, So, and then there's stuff with just like, all right. And early on, maybe I considered it to be that, where she's kind of taught me to be like, all right, Dad, wait a minute. You know, so, it's just,
I think it comes with
each other.
and it comes with growth too.
Yeah,
I think initially too, when you guys are starting business, and most people, everything's very like numerical driven, right? I want to see numbers, I want to see income, what's the profit margins. And if you continue to chase that, and I feel like a lot of people run into this, and maybe you do, is like, if you just chase numbers, there's no real like satisfaction. It's like drinking ocean water. You're like constantly thirsty for like more and more and more. So was there a point where you guys hit where you're like, let's stop focusing just on money or opening places, and let's focus more on what's the life we really want to live right now?
Yes, that was a couple of years ago, right?
Yep. Probably about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just constantly putting more stress into our life and putting more grow for what? I'm like, we have this amazing life right now. Let's just keep it like this and not add more stress to our lives and have more time to travel with our kids or just us by ourselves and create memories.
Yeah.
So we've been very intentional about that for the last 2 years.
Yeah. Listen, we come from nothing, right? And part of the blessing and the curse is that you get to experience a lot of things that you thought you would never, ever experience in your life, right? We've been able to see that, things that we never imagined, right? We've been able to have things which are a lot less important, and you learn that with time, right?
Yeah.
Things don't matter. Things don't bring happiness. Things, all they do is, create complications, right? But we've been able to go that, and I encourage everybody to go through that step in their life, right? Because if that's a part of your journey, you have to go through it, right? I can't tell the next man, oh, don't buy the, such and such car because it's not going to satisfy you. No, do it. Yeah. Do it. Get it out of your system, right? But hopefully at some point or another, you realize that those things are really not important, right? And I think the biggest transition that we've had in our life is in the last 2 years, we've looked at things and we kind of, when I think about something that I want a compulsive thought and I want to buy this or buy that, all right, I look at it as a shackle now, all right? I'm literally putting a shackle on my foot, and it's forcing me to keep running.
We have to work harder,
keep running,
open more stores to be able to afford this, or to be able to, keep up with the payments. And
our last 2 years have been about removing shackles, and we've never been happier. I can tell you that, man. We've removed shackles, we've gotten rid of things that we don't need, and that's allowed us to go out and have a lot less stress, create more memories, man, and do life a little differently, man. And I'd say this is probably our best chapter of our life so far, and I think there's a lot more to come. With that said, there's still going to be growth, right? Because our kids have an appetite for this. They want to be in this business. We have a team that wants to continue growing and deserves opportunities. So we're definitely still growing, right? But we're doing it now. Anytime we have an opportunity, we say, how does this affect our life, our ability to create memories with our children, with each other? How does this affect it? And if it's too big of something to chew on, set it aside, man. We're not doing it. So,
dude, I resonate with that a lot. I feel like you have to go through that because you work hard and we want nice things. Don't get me wrong. Like, I like nice things too.
Absolutely.
But then when you start doing things and buying things that you really want or that are high ticket, and the shackle, analogy, I'm like, all right, is the thing that's I'm buying and purchasing, is that really like making me happy? Yep. Or is it just stressing me out even more? For what?
You out even more,
probably. No, yeah, for sure. I'm like, what was the reason? I'm happy and excited for a couple weeks.
Yeah,
and then it's like,
it's
like another thing. And so, try to finding balance with that is, I feel like, difficult because, again, like I it's just like keeping up with the Joneses. Exactly. People like, you make more and then you just want to keep level up. But really, it's almost like you're just constantly like struggling when, if there could be a point where it's like, I'm comfortable, I have enough money, I can do what I want and not just overload.
I think that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, man. You'll never regret creating a memory, man. Taking the vacation, taking the trip, doing things with the family. You'll never regret that, man. So if there's anything that you're going to put in the way of allowing you to create that memory, whether it be a car, a plane, a boat, or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
I would suggest you think about it twice,
For sure. So. Yeah. I want to go. I got two other things I want to kind of go into with you guys too before you guys go. Mm-hmm. So you guys are actually in my P3 method program. Yeah. So we're doing our peak performance professional program, which I think a lot of reasons we came into this, but also coming to this gym, specifically everybody that I train and I work with and here in the last year have been almost a business owner. you know? And I think it's because I understand the language. Right. You know what I mean? I understand like what you guys are going through. I understand 100%. The lifestyle to some extent. You know what I mean? There's levels to this thing, but I get trying to figure out the balance, especially when you have kids too, and the dynamic of like all of things, but also managing your health. I think I know like working out is probably not the best thing in the world because work is in the word, but it does. I feel like, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think it's allowed you to manage a lot higher load of stress. Yes. Right? You're able to manage that a lot better. So are there little like tips or things? I mean, you could talk about anything we've done in the program too. Like
I love your app. Let me just tell you. I know what I'm doing. Like, I don't have to think about my next like exercise, and everything is right there. I'm very structured, so I'm a
so you'll probably love it.
So I love it. I'm like, okay, 12 reps here, 12, 10, 10.
She is in it.
I am in it. I love it.
That's
I don't
good.
have to guess. I don't have to like, what do I want to do next, or how many reps should I do, or whatever. So it's a great thing. I love it.
Well, good. Well, thank you.
It helps.
It does, and I think it helps people like not waste time either.
Right.
You know, because you're like you said, like what exercise should I do next? How many should I do? It's just like, just click it, let's go. Gives you the rest timer.
Break, like the rest time.
Yep.
I don't rest longer than I should. Sometimes I get on my phone and start doing something, and it's like, okay, when that little thing goes ping, I'm like, okay, next.
Yeah. You're in and out. I mean, people that are in here for like 2 hours, I'm like, I wish I had 2 hours to play around in here. Yeah.
No.
I don't have time for that.
No,
you know,
I don't either.
I need to be in.
My workouts are like 35 minutes. I think 45 minutes.
45 minutes, That's usually about mine.
I love it.
I will say, like, you know, she talked about earlier how I push her to work out, right? And for me, it's I'm pushing her to protect her because I had to learn the hard way, right? And I know the amount of stress that she carries on her day-to-day work. So I see the difference when she's in here, getting it, how she functions outside. Her ability to handle stress is a whole different world. I already know that. I learned it the hard way. So, you know, I try to protect her from that standpoint. But I'll say we're doing this 8-week program, and I've been blown away by this thing, by the way. I've had the luxury of already being here and having your ear and learning so much from you that I've already seen, you know, the rewards of that. And in my mind, I was like, man, this 8 weeks going to be enough. But 8 weeks has been, man, I don't know what week we're in, but just I think we're in probably a little over the halfway point. Maybe.
Yeah.
We're 4 weeks. I think we're 4 weeks.
Yeah, we're going into the 5th week here.
I lost 4 pounds.
Yeah.
There we go.
Without even like trying or just,
Yeah.
I guess it's the workouts or like.
The workouts and with you specifically, we're like protein.
Yeah,
like without getting
I've been doing so much more protein because you pushed me to it. And now I see my little meal plan, like I have to hit 130 grams. And I've been doing it. And I see like how like even my jeans are now loose. Like, and it's 4 pounds is not a lot, but to me, it's a lot.
For you, it's a lot.
So it's,
you know, I think that is a lot for you. And I think this is a good thing for other listeners to hear too, is because when people get into like, I mean, you guys were already working out, but a lot of times people that are just starting, they get really scared and they can't get overloaded with a full blown like overhaul on their lifestyle.
Right.
They're like, oh my God, I'm going to have to only eat these foods and I have to do all these workouts and I got to get 10,000 steps every day. I'm like, listen, slow down. You know, one thing at a time. Yeah. And, you know, even with you, I was like, you're already working out, so let's structure that. Yeah. That's an easy shift. And then instead of me giving you like, you know, you have to do like this for breakfast, this for lunch. Like I do want some sort of structure, but I told you, I was like, just hit a protein goal. Yeah. Let's start there, you know? And I think that brought probably a lot of awareness to you of like what you're eating and even like what can you eat? You know, you start looking at food labels and you're like, oh, this thing got 20 grams protein. I'll eat that too. You know?
Now I'm all about the protein. I mean, everything that says protein, I get it.
Yeah.
She's been very intentional about it for sure.
Protein pasta. A pasta project? I said, get some protein pasta. Make me protein pasta. So
oh, don't do that. I'm going to be over there now.
Oh my God, it was so good. He made me a protein Alfredo. Like, spaghetti. It was delicious.
I have my little stash there. It's available for everybody, but if nobody eats it, I'll eat it all up.
Like, you need to put that on the menu. It's so good.
You should.
And you're protein.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Pushing that out.
I mean, because if I went in there, I'm going to see like, oh, protein pasta. I'm automatically.
Man.
Not even going to think about it. I'm like, that's the one.
Yeah.
You're taking a carb that a lot of people shy away from and turning it into protein, man. That's a win-win.
Yeah. And so many people are scared of carbs. Like, oh, I can't eat any carbs. I mean, that's not true.
Carbs are okay. Carbs are good. You need carbs for
energy.
energy.
For sure.
I've learned that.
Mm-hmm. Look at that.
I've seen her ability to handle stress since she's been doing this program. I mean, night and day, and you know, now she's actually looking forward to coming in and working out, which is different. So
Well, good.
Yeah, man, makes my life easier.
I'm like, let me see what Chris wants me to do.
Yeah. Well, I'm honored to have you guys in. You know, when I came up with the idea, funny enough, I called Laz first, and I was like, I got this concept.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know what you think. And I just kind of like ran it through him. I was like, this is just kind of like an overview of what I'm thinking. And you're like, dude, that's amazing. You should definitely do that. I don't know if he was hyping me up or not, but no.
No. I knew whatever you put your hands on and your mind to, you were gonna blow it out of the water, man. But you definitely passed my expectations on it for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
You definitely added to it because my thing was really digging a lot into like basic understanding of like nutrition and workouts, but also lifestyle changes.
Right.
You know, how to set up like your evening routines, manage your time, prioritize things. But you're like, Chris, you know what you also need to talk about? And some of the peptides.
Yes.
And the peptides, it's a big market right now. And a lot of people are getting more open to it. And so I was like, you know, that's a great idea.
Oh yeah.
And it's funny, and dude, this is a funny, I don't even want to call this a statistic. This is my own personal like statistic. But so pretty much everybody that's been in this program, they're business owners.
Right.
All of them have done some sort of research on peptides.
Oh yeah.
When I talk to everyday people, they're kind of like, is that steroid? Or like, what is that? You know? But it was just a funny, like, when I got into it, they're like, oh, Chris, I've been looking up into this. What do you think about this? Oh, yeah. And I'm like, that's interesting you guys are already looking at, because none of them are in the fitness industry.
Right.
You know?
It's definitely the future, man. You know, it's going to be a part of our lives, especially if we're intentional about getting out and getting this research and implementing it where we can. But, you know, I'll say another thing about the program, I love the fact that, you know, you obviously have the ability to put us through a training that would set us up for a competition, right? If that was the goal, right? But what you've taken is you've done a program that's very, you know, reasonable. It's going to push you, but it's something that you can do and still live life, right? You don't feel like you're, you know, like I see some of these guys walking around here, and it's. I have a lot of respect for these guys that are getting ready for these competitions and the stuff they got to go through. Tough. But you know, we get to do this and still do life, and get results. So
there's going to be. I'm going to eventually kind of talk a lot about this with the competitors in general, because I come from that background as well, competing and even at a pro level. So, you know, for us, there's a lot of dieting's a big part, but you're eating a ton to get big, and then you're cutting your food down to get tight and lean, and it's a rinse and repeat. You're constantly doing this, and what we're doing is we're destroying our gut by doing that. So there's lining in the gut lining called villi, and they basically are diminishing every time we're like putting it under the stress. And this is where you have IBS or leaky gut syndrome. There's another one a lot of people hear about, where now you have almost like perforated holes in the gut or in the intestines. And so when you're eating, it's leaking out into the body. And
not absorbing nutrition.
That's right. Yeah. So even though you're eating it, your body's not absorbing it the way that it should. And so you have to fix that. Yeah. And most of these guys aren't even like, that hasn't even crossed their mind.
Right.
And it didn't for me either. Yeah. You know? And so that's why now, you know, I got tested, you know, got full blood panel, metabolic panel, and I was like, oh yeah. And what I've noticed, I don't want to go on a side tangent with this, but you know, I think I told you this the other day. I've always felt like I was estrogen sensitive. So even when I was competing, and I'm open about it, I've used different compounds in the past. Yeah. Estrogen would always skyrocket for some reason. So I'd be like, nope, can't touch that. Don't do that. Right. You know, we just learn. And when I started doing more research and learning about, you know, gut health, if I did have leaky gut, even though I'm eating like healthy fats and extra fats, it's getting into my body, which is actually raising my estrogen.
Absolutely.
You know, so I'm like, now things are starting to click and make sense for myself as well. So we've been digging a lot into that. Yeah. I started working with a functional practitioner as well to kind of show me, teach me, and put me through the process as well. Nice. So I'm excited for it. I mean, where we're going to take this thing in the next year, I think it's going to be, I mean, we touched on it. I think it's going to be
like a one-stop shop.
Yeah, it'll be a game changer.
Get your peptides, get this, get your blood work.
Super excited about that, man.
Yeah. So last thing, I mean, you mentioned it before we even started. I do want to kind of talk about the award that you guys got, and you got to speak at. And then lastly, where do you guys see yourself in the next like 10, 20 years? Like what's the future hold for you guys?
I don't know.
You want to talk about the award and then
let's start with the award. Start with the award.
So in 2020, right before the pandemic, we got the award for
minority business.
Minority from the SBA. So you have SBA in Washington, and then you have, all the different states. So they pick one person, one business out of each state. And they picked me. So I was the Minority Business Owner of the Year for 2020. And that was great because I was supposed to go speak at the, what is it, the Congress? Not Congress.
Well, the State House.
The State House.
Okay.
Yes. But like 5 days later that I got the award, everything shut down, so I didn't get to
COVID kind of
do
ruined
that.
but it was
But that was pretty cool,
cool recognition for sure.
So
This little bitty place here in Greenville that started from as a little hole in the wall to get that recognition was pretty cool.
Yeah. I think it shows a lot of people like the opportunity that's out there if you really want it.
Exactly.
And you know,
especially like I'm an immigrant. I came from Cuba, so
Yeah.
imagine that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm winning an award for my state. Like, that's crazy to me.
Cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
It is. I mean, hard work goes a long way,
Yeah.
and the passion that you guys have in it, and even when we're talking about your foods, and maybe next time we'll talk about the chicken, where you guys get your chicken from and all that. You told me about it. I was like, dude, that is wild. It's hilarious to me. But it's nice to see someone that's promoting healthy food, that the food's actually really healthy.
Yeah.
And so that's why we decided to partner with you guys as well, and we send all our clients there, everybody that I'm like, hey, you don't want to cook, you don't want to clean, you got to eat healthy. Like, this is the way to go. We'll show you how to put it together, what to order. We even put y'all's whole menu in our app as well, just to make it easy. Because that was one of the common things a lot of people are coming and asking me is like, where's their calories, where's their macros?
Exactly.
And I'm like, here, just open up the app, it's right there.
Yeah.
So
That's been extremely helpful.
Yeah.
Great tool for sure.
So, okay.
Where do we see ourselves?
Yeah,
in
last
20
question.
You said 10, 20? How many?
10 to 20. 10 to 20 years. Like, where do you
I don't know. I
more
see
business,
myself
more
with lots of
more
grandchildren.
establishments or pasta project? You got one right now, right?
Yeah, we have one pasta project right now. And, I would say we're definitely still going to grow, right? Pasta project, I want to grow that. I want to eventually bring that to South Florida for sure. That was always the vision behind that. And, for a little while there, we took a little break, right? Inflation was crazy, and we decided to take a little break on growth.
Yeah.
But we're definitely right back in growth mode right now, and we're going to start growing. We have a few opportunities for Tropical Grill and a few opportunities for Pasta Project, and we're really going to start cranking it up, but always with the mindset of we're going to continue to create memories, man. So we're going to be careful how we do it. Make sure we don't put ourselves in a situation we've been in the past where, we're doing too much and over stressed and things of that nature. So we're going to protect that at all costs. And I'm going to chase. I tell her all the time, man. My goal in life right now is to chase low tides and memories, man. So there's something about the low tide, man. When you catch the beach at the right time of day, man.
Yeah.
There's something special about that. So that's what I'm chasing right now. I'm not chasing money. I'm chasing memories, man. So
I love that.
but we're gonna grow.
Yeah, we're gonna grow. I don't know what 20 years looks like from now, but
Yeah, I don't know either.
bunch of grandkids
Yeah.
and
Yeah, man.
Just-
Hopefully
living life. And I want to have grandkids. Lots of them.
more relationship with God, man. Continue to build our relationship with God and keeping Him in the forefront. And that's the beauty of where we are in life right now. That we don't have to think about tomorrow, let alone 20 years from now, right? It's just every day I wake up and I ask God to guide my steps and lead me in the direction that He wants me to go in. And as long as I keep doing that, I think the
Hopefully
future
Jay
is
and
bright.
Maddie will be running the show, and
Yeah.
we could step back a little bit.
And then we'll be off in an
and
island
we'll be
somewhere.
off on an island somewhere, and Jay and Maddie will be dealing with the day-to-day stress.
Yeah. Well, it's awesome.
That's the plan.
That's it. Put it on the
plan.
vision board.
Maddie and Jay, get ready.
That's awesome. Well, listen, I appreciate you guys coming on and having a conversation.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy doing these. I love learning from people. I hope a lot of these people that are listening got a lot of context of where you guys started from. I think that is a big gap.
Yeah.
I would never know any of this if I didn't ask, and I think it's important for anybody that wants to start a business or that's going through it right now.
For sure.
And then also, like, just don't judge the book by its cover.
No.
100%.
And sometimes it looks all fancy, but those pages are a little rough inside.
Oh yeah, man.
Go
through it, and I think it's important, right? For people to know that, right? No matter what part of the journey you're in, if you're just starting off, you're in the middle, you started off great, and now you're in a low point in your career, your business, man. Like, that's just part of the journey, man. Like, just keep going. Everything's gonna work out. Keep pushing. keep doing what you know got you there, and it'll work out. It's just everybody goes through it. Not everybody talks about it. So if you get caught up in the world of looking at Instagram and everybody's winning and winning and winning, and they don't share their losses, man, that's where it gets dangerous, man. We all go through losses.
It's not reality.
Yeah.
Everyone's life is not perfect at all times, at all. So it's not, you're putting out there something that's not reality. So,
Yeah. And being a business owner is not for everybody either. And that's okay.
And it's okay.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing.
That's a great point right there.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Some of the happiest people I know, man, they work a 9 to 5, man.
Yes, they clock out and they turn off their phone.
Turn off the brain.
And they
So
live
the
a
next
beautiful
day.
life,
That's
man.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
kind of like the stress, I feel like.
Yeah,
We're all a little sick in the head when it comes to that. It's exciting. It's almost like going back to like when I was talking about working in the kitchen, like all the tickets come. It's like, oh yeah, adrenaline starts going. And most people be freaking out, like, I got to get out of here. We're like, we're in it. Like, let's do this.
Was it Sunday that we opened the restaurant, you and two employees, and we're like, let's open the restaurant in the snow. So 2 employees were like, we want to work. And we're like, okay, let's go. We'll work too.
On that note, right, we had employees, hitting us up like, we closed the day that it was obviously clearly dangerous. We don't want nobody in the road. No. We had people pushing us, and we're like, absolutely not. We're not opening the restaurant. The next day it starts to look a little better, and we're like, all right, maybe we can do this, right? So we start looking around. There's a couple of employees that, they're really pushing me. They're like, I need to work. I'm like, all right.
My hours, I need to work.
I don't have enough people. I can't get it open. So the only way that we're getting it open is if her and I go in.
And Jay.
I bring Jay in, right? So I'm like, all right, if we do that, we can make it happen. So, we put up a post, we say we're opening, and then of course there's always going to be people out there, man, that just have their own opinion of the situation. So of course, like clockwork, they come, greedy owners, forcing people to work or they'll get fired. I'm like, man, listen, man,
you know how many
we are in this thing. We are getting
and
it.
how many first responders we served. That if we weren't open, or a lot of restaurants were not open, so where are they going to eat? And then a lot of people are like, I didn't have food in my house. Thank God that, I ran out of food. Thank God you guys are open to feed my family. Like, there's a good and a bad in everything. We're not going to let our employees, be in danger out there and, get in a car accident. But if it's safe and we're there and somebody wants to work, come on over.
Shout out to all the internet tough guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. Everybody got something to say,
Everyone has something to say.
And we gave away more meals that Saturday than we sold, just to give you an idea.
We did.
And then Sunday, we got in there, and the Facebook post doesn't tell you, but we're in there working, open to close, doing dishes, doing it all. And you know what?
The dish
and
pile
loving it. Loving it, man.
I did them all.
Loving it, man. We were in there with our team and just having a great old time, man. And so many happy people that were actually running out of food. And to me, those are the moments that I remember, man, that will stick with me forever, man. Just seeing people so happy that we're open. Just a simple thing, man. We're there and we're selling food, but those days it's more than just food, man. Those days it's a need for the community, and it's just awesome, man. I live for those moments.
Yeah, I mean, the first ice storm, you called me, and you were like, "Hey, Chris, you still in Greenville? You need some food?"
Yeah,
because we knew it was coming, and I was
man, I want to make sure that you were stocked up.
No, I appreciate that. I mean, because it is. I mean, you never know. People go crazy, go to grocery stores, they empty out the shelves, and then where do you go?
Oh, yeah.
So no, I appreciate that too.
Yeah,
so
man,
no, you guys are doing something great, and I hope and I would assume from you and to everybody else, don't get caught up in what everybody else is saying, because if your heart's in the right place and you know what you're doing, man, let them talk. Let them talk. If anything, it gives you more awareness on your page and more followers, and people increases your algorithm.
Exactly.
So
I love it.
Well, cool. No, thank you guys. I appreciate you, and maybe we'll do it again. We'll see down the road and see where you are.
Miami on the next one.
Yeah, coming to Miami on the next one.
I need to get down there. I want to get down there. It's been a while. I need some warm weather. That's what I need. Some sun.
Show you our little getaway.
Yeah.
How we stay sane.
Yeah. No, I need that. That's what I need. Whatever that is. Let me see that.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.